Now we get into some multi-step equations. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my river. And I like to leave change opposite when I can because it just helps me remember my signs. So now at this point, I know that I can't do anything inside the parentheses because they are not like terms. So the only thing I can do is distribute. So negative 3 times 4r is negative 12r. I bring down my plus sign. And then negative 3 times negative 8 is a positive 24. And then over here, I still have my negative 36. Okay, so I'm looking over here on this side because this is the side with a variable, and I know that I want to get rid of these two numbers. I need to get rid of negative 12 and the 24. We always get rid of the constant first. So how do we get rid of plus 24? We subtract 24. So I'm going to subtract 24 on both sides. So these go away, and I'm left with negative 12r equals, and I need to leave change opposite. A negative 36 plus a negative 24, well, since the signs are the same, we actually add them and keep the signs. So 6 and 4 make 10. And of course, you'd have your calculator to do this too, but this would be negative 60. At this point, I'm going to leave you to do the rest, but think about how you're going to get rid of that negative 12 that's being multiplied. Do it on both sides and figure out whatever r is. Once you do that, you will come over here and you will use your parenthetical promise every time you see an r. So we're going to replace the r with parentheses and whatever value we think r is. And then instead, I'm going to go ahead and put brackets around those just because when you have like several different sets of parentheses, it gets a little confusing. And so this is what your check is going to shape up to look like. And then whatever your r is, you'd multiply that by 4 first, and then subtract 8, and then multiply that by negative 3 and make sure that it does indeed equal negative 36. For B, we're going to draw our river. And there's nothing to do over on the left side. On the right side, though, we see that we actually can combine some like terms here. Luckily for us, there are no negatives because those always, mess you up. But luckily, they're all positive. So we can put 5v together with 2v and get 7v because we're just adding those together. And so once we've done that, we are now at a two-step equation. Negative 12 equals 2 plus 7v. All right, so we're still looking on this side. We need to get rid of the 2 first. How do we get rid of 2? We subtract it. And we subtract 2 on the other side as well. And those do definitely cancel out because 2 minus 2 is 0, nothing. All right, over here on this side, we're going to need to leave change opposite. So we have negative 12 plus a negative 2, which is negative 14, equals in the middle, and we just bring down our 7v. And at this point, you know what to do. How do you get rid of that 7? You're going to do that on both sides and figure out what v is. Okay, and then once we've done that, we plug it in our parenthetical promise every time we see a v, which is actually twice. Okay, so everything else is going to come down. We'll have negative 12 is equal to 2 plus, and then we'll have our 5 and our 2 here. And then remember the order of operations. You're going to multiply these two numbers, whatever these are, first. Then you will multiply these two numbers next. And finally, you will add whatever those two are together with the 2 and make sure that that sum does equal negative 12.